how much, I guess, effort do you have to put into the care for your hips, for your body at this point?
Uh, so speaking about doctors who we wish were practitioners of our martial art,
Yes.
I discovered a local guy who we're really good friends now, who's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu locally at another school.
Yeah.
He's a doctor of physical therapy, and I went to this out of network, which proves that the bedside manner is going to be way better, right?
Yep.
Yeah, way more expensive, but you get what you pay
Worth
for.
it. Yeah.
Way worth it. Where I went to this guy, and we could he's a little bit younger than me, but he's like our age.
Yeah.
And I was able to talk to him just like, dude, here's what's going on. This is what hurts. When I do this and when I do that. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He does jujitsu. He's a purple belt. He's a doctor of physical therapy. So when we started making the plan, I had the exact same question for him. It was like, well, how much massage and how much this do I need to do and how much do that need to do? And in the beginning, when my hips were really bad, it was consistency of 4 times to 5 times a week of these particular exercises that I needed to do. Mm-hmm. And once I got past a certain stage, he said, we're going to incorporate these movements and these breathing patterns and these sort of things that I do with my hips, pelvic engagement, with your regular strength and conditioning routine, where you don't need to add any extra stuff unless it really starts to hurt again. So I learned through regular strength and conditioning with my lower body, there's different movements and different patterns and different engagement that rehab me and get me strong both at the same time.
Yep.
And I would have never found that out at the local yokel place that accepts my insurance, because it's like a circus in there. And you know this, and your listeners know this. When you go to an in-network, usually, not always, but usually, you go to an in-network physical therapy place, the physical therapist is a guy or girl who has probably never been an athlete. They might even not know what your activity is, and they haven't trained somebody as high level as you. And they have 4 people working at the same time while they're supposed to be taking care of you. And they're pointing at the one guy. Hey, roll the ball up the corner over here. Here, put ice on this guy. Yeah. This person over here, jump on the trampoline. You're on the wall. You do this. That's really not care. That's just trying to get in as many people as you can for the insurance model.
Yeah.
To get as much care as you can. But at the end of the day, they just want that check or that money from the insurance, because them taking one person an hour doesn't, provide enough funding, which this goes into the insurance thing, for them to even do that. So it's kind of like burning the candle at both ends. Have you experienced that before?
So I was in physical therapy for my back when I was in high school and this was like super early on, like I was 17, and I'm in physical therapy for like lumbar issues, which turned out in hindsight to be more of like a tightness on what's your psoas muscle, which connects the back of your spine, like your lumbar, to the front of your hip. So it'll get tight, and it gives you that like anterior tilt and puts pressure on your back. So I was in it for that. That happened to be like a really good facility, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, the healthcare model in that sense, especially in network, it's not designed to give like a high skilled athlete in a specific arena the care that they need for the sport that they're doing. Mm-hmm. It's designed to get a lot of people in the door and out the door with enough to keep them healthy or push them in the right direction. But I mean, look, like every fighter goes into a fight banged up. Right? You always see, you watch a UFC fight, and then afterwards someone's always like, oh, I was like nursing my hand injury, or like I had like a cervical issue. Everyone's fucked up. If you train martial arts in any capacity, your body's going to be operating on some degree of less than 100, just because the demands of the sport are so heavy. And when you look at these professional athletes, the top tier guys, look at the institute that they have availability to. Like all these guys that go to the UPI, what an incredible opportunity as an athlete to have that kind of care in your back pocket, to have meals, soft tissue therapy, sauna, cold plunge, manual therapy, chiropractic, physical therapy, strength training. Like those guys are getting that kind of care. So let's say that you're competitive on a regional level, on a